Love and romance has been a core part of storytelling forever, and certainly our favorite TV shows are no stranger to it. But every once in a while, the actors that play our favorite on-screen couples actually can't stand each other in real life. Here are the top 5 romantic TV pairings that had no love for each other in real life. At number 5, it's Scott Patterson and Lauren Graham as Luke and Lorelai on The Gilmore Girls.
Maybe sometime we could...
Luke and Lorelai are one of those classic will they or won't they couples that started as friends and then got together and then broke up and then got back together and, spoiler alert, eventually got married. But in real life, the actors who played them weren't quite as fond of each other as you might think.
What is with these ribbons?
Pink for you, blue for Luke. That way we all know whose side we're on without having to talk to each other.
In truth, information about this feud is scarce because likely early on, producers warned the actors to remain tight-lipped with the press. But there was an interview that Lauren Graham gave during the height of the show's popularity where she was asked if she and Scott Patterson were friends off-screen like they were on-screen, and she very curtly said no before moving on. It is interesting to note that Patterson's co-star in the sitcom Aliens in America, which was his follow-up to Gilmore Girls, claimed to have very similar tensions with the actor throughout that show's short-lived production. Again, a lot of this is circumstantial, but the more you dig, the more it seems like where there's smoke, there very likely also was some emotional fire. Ultimately, though, whatever tensions existed, I think were long gone by the time they got back together in 2016 for the revival. In fact, they even got back together again this year, playing their characters in a Walmart commercial. At number 4, it's Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic in Castle. Castle was a hit Murder of the Week procedural that ran for 8 seasons on ABC. And much of what made the show so fun to watch was the will they or won't they tension between Richard Castle and Kate Beckett.
You're on.
No mercy.
What are we playing for?
Pride. Or clothing.
Of course, these two were destined to be together, but in real life, Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic pretty much did everything they could to stay apart.
For a minute there, you actually made me believe that you were human.
Not only were there reports of Katic crying in her trailer because of Fillion's alleged nasty behavior on set, but at one point the producers even had the actors go to couples counseling out of fear that their off-screen tension would eventually affect their on-screen chemistry. Things came to a head in season 8 when the network announced that for budget reasons they were firing Katic and not bringing her back for the next season. Though plans for season 9 were in place, the fan backlash was so great that in the end, the network decided to just cancel the show. At number 3,
Agent Mulder, I'm Dana Scully. I've been assigned to work with you.
it's David Duchovny and Jillian Anderson on The X-Files. On screen, Agent Dana Scully and Fox Mulder went from tense, skeptical working partners to friends to lovers to ultimately parents.
Scully, should we be picking out China patterns or what?
But off-screen, the actors have never denied that there was feuding and tension throughout much of the show's original production.
What was it like working with David Duchovny?
It was complicated, I think, for both of us.
There were some, rough patches.
Issues.
Sure.
Yeah.
The public saw the first signs of their tumultuous relationship during the 1997 Golden Globe Awards. Both actors won awards for their performances, and when Anderson won hers, she noticeably left Dave Duchovny out of her acceptance speech. And then when Duchovny won his and expressed gratitude towards Anderson,
Jillian Anderson, the best co-star anybody could have.
She was visibly irritated when the camera panned her way. At one point, in an interview during the show's heyday, Anderson was asked what she wished Duchovny had more of, and she very quickly said patience. And at another time, she was asked whether Duchovny was nice, and she very curtly said, next question.
It kind of makes me sound like an
But it seems that time, or maybe money, would heal all wounds, as Anderson and Duchovny would come back for an X-Files revival in 2016, expressing that at this point it was water under the bridge.
Today, I have to say, I was very surprised at how friendly you guys are because
You mean friendly to each other?
Yeah, there was a lot of camaraderie there, it
There
seemed
is.
like. Was it always like that?
No.
No.
At number 2, it's Martin Lawrence and Tisha Campbell on Martin. Martin is one of the great classic 90s sitcoms. Much of the story revolved around Martin Payne and his live-in girlfriend, Gina Waters.
I love you.
Though their on-screen repartee was always in good fun, it seems behind the scenes, fun was the last thing that Campbell was having. In fact, in the show's 5th season, she filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against Lawrence, also alleging verbally abusive behavior on set.
Tisha left the set because she had to. It got to that point, and I understood it.
Not only did the lawsuit lead to the canceling of the show, But she was absent for much of the season, and when she did come back in the final episodes, she refused to film any scenes with Martin.
Not only not in the same room, they couldn't even, I don't think they couldn't even be on the lot.
Things heated up between them again when Lawrence was quoted in a GQ article in 2020 as saying that none of her accusations were true. He also claimed that the show wasn't canceled, but that he decided to leave the show because of the controversy with Campbell. Fortunately, following these statements, Lawrence and Campbell made amends.
We worked really hard to reconnect, to forgive.
They even appeared together on stage in 2024 at the 75th Emmy Awards, alongside two of their co-stars in a replica of the show's apartment.
Wow, this is a real moment.
Yeah.
Special moment.
You better believe it, baby.
And at number 1,
I hate you!
probably the most infamous love-hate TV relationship of the 80s, or ever. It's Cybill Shepherd and Bruce Willis in Moonlighting. While Cybill Shepherd came into Moonlighting as an established actress with some impressive films on her resume, Bruce Willis was a relative unknown. That didn't stop him from standing his ground when it came to her infamous diva behavior on set.
I despise you. I loathe the ground under which you burrow.
The tension and behind-the-scenes fighting between them is the stuff of legend and was often reported in the tabloids at the time. Allegedly, the competition and diva behavior between the two got so bad that the distance between their trailers to set had to be measured to ensure that neither one was walking any further than the other. There were also reports that scenes between the two of them had to be shot with body doubles because they refused to be in the same room together.
Disappear, evaporate, dissolve.
With pleasure.
Series creator Glenn Gordon Caron has given his take on the tension, citing the intense long hours that it takes to shoot a television series can turn even the smallest disagreements into full-out blow-ups.
People don't understand television is exhausting. In 7 or 8 days, you try and make a 45-minute movie. And it's relentless.
Shepard has even been quoted as saying that their off-screen tension actually helped their on-screen love and romance tension, which may actually be right.
That fighting and that constant bickering, we did hate each other and love each other and want to slap each other around.
Things didn't get any easier in 1988 when the movie Die Hard came out and Bruce Willis became a major movie star overnight. And I'm sure it didn't help with his behavior towards his co-star. Soon after, he wanted off the show, and Willis would get his wish when the show was canceled after its 5th and final season in May of 1989.
Maybe it was the wind?